In windswept Salt Lake, the final chapter of the 2025 Supercross season was written. Chase Sexton won the battle while losing the war. At the end of the night and the season, Cooper Webb became only the seventh rider in the 5-decade-plus history of the sport to capture a hat trick of Supercross titles. Did Cooper Webb win this championship, or did Chase Sexton lose it? Both can be true. Recency bias has some pointing to Pittsburgh as where Webb won the title. Others might opine that Sexton lost it at the same race. Of course, none of this is cut and dried. Had Chase set on second to take a first in Arlington, it would have changed the trajectory of the season, and in many cases, what was still to come in subsequent rounds. Cause and effect never rests, and these storylines write themselves first person in real time. But taking in the whole of the season, Chase's repeated mental miscues were his downfall, and they took place not in the Steel City, but rather Tampa, Detroit, Daytona, Arlington, and Foxborough. Crashing in the whoops in Tampa, trying to match pace with Malcolm Stewart, who was never in contention for the title, instead of backing it down and settling for second. Instead, it was Coop in the runner-up slot, and Chase having to nurse a bent and battered bike to a fifth-place finish. In Detroit, stuck in the gate, then crashing just 2 turns in. That he rallied back for the final step on the podium only shows that if he had went through the first turn in any pack of riders, he likely would have won. In Daytona, Sexton had a huge crash in his heat race, but crawled back through the LCQ and salvaged fifth. Webb finished second behind only Ken Roczen. Then came the biggest bad choice of them all, trying to force that last lap pass in the third Triple Crown race in Dallas, when he already had the overall locked up. Webb inherited the overall win, and Sexton ended up third behind Roczen. Sexton could have gained 3 points on Webb that night. Instead, he lost 5. Webb's clutch performance in Pittsburgh was big, but no bigger than a handful of prior races, where Coop snatched points from the teeth of defeat. It could be said that Webb won the title in Foxborough, with mounting that incredible rally in the final lap, passing 3 riders, one of which was Sexton, still third, while Sexton wound up 6th. Coop left that race with a 15-point championship lead. Or in Seattle, by beating Sexton, despite Chase doing the bigger jump combos. By taking second ahead of Sexton at Daytona. And yes, that Pittsburgh victory. And now, Coop is the oldest Supercross champion ever, a full and whopping 2 weeks older than Eli Tomac was in 2022. Three-time champion, ride-along legends Bob Hanna and Jeff Stanton. Only 4 riders, the Ryans, RC, and MC, have more. Webb's 4-season gap between his second and third championships is the longest ever between a second and third title. All the more impressive. Hanna won his 3 in a row. Stanton won 3 out of 4. In both cases, racing largely the same field as the previous year or years. Coop has raced Tomac and Roxon, Tomac and Sexton, and now Tomac and Jet. And he now has more Supercross crowns than Tomac. Indoors, yes. Not talking about outdoors until next week. And yes, Tomac has double the wins. But on the other hand, Webb has more than half as many wins as the second winningest rider in Supercross history. Hanna had 27. Stanton, 17. And it's worth noting that Sexton now trails Stanton by only 1 in all-time wins, with his 16th, tied with Jean-micheal Bell for 17th on the all-timers list. Will the lessons Chase learned this Supercross season pay dividends moving forward? Can he somehow eliminate, or at least minimize, the little errors that have made huge differences in this outdoor season and subsequent campaigns to come? Unknown, but starting in less than a fortnight in the great outdoors, Sexton will have both the red plate and a number 1 that just eluded him indoors. And he'll be racing not just Cooper Webb, but the incoming influx of current and future legends, Eli, Jet, and even Jorge. We'll be back next week to pontificate and opine on that. Maybe.
To chase your dreams is it's special, and I think even for me, like I alluded to, in December it was rough. I was sitting there with an injury and was running on the beach with my agent right there, and we were having a chat while we were running on the beach and just going, do you race or do you not race? And said, F it, let's race. Like if it don't work, we'll get surgery and call it. So just stuff like that, right? That you don't think about. I didn't think about an hour ago, but when I'm sitting here in this chair going like, man, there's so many things that have to go right, and we did it. We're 3-time champ.